Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. I'm the Cool Book Dude, and today we're going to be doing my second book review, and we're going to be going over The Boys in the Boat by Daniel James Brown. Let's get into it. So the whole book is basically an account of the University of Washington's men's rowing team and their journey through the 1936 Berlin Olympics. The main focus is on a young man named Joe Rance. He is in the working class, and it goes over his life and how he struggled to make ends meet through the Great Depression and eventually found purpose through the rowing team in the University of Washington. So Joe Rance, he is a young man that was abandoned by his father and stepmother as a teenager, and survived on his own by working difficult jobs and through grueling hard work. Many of the townspeople knew him because he was a very kind young man, and they would feed him and offer him jobs and money so that he could make ends meet, and eventually he was able to get into the University of Washington. While there, he tried out for the men's rowing team as a secondary source of income to pay for his education. The rowing team was coached by Al Ulbrichtson, and much of the crew consists basically of sons of shipyard workers, farmers, people like that. Others in the working class, just like Joe. Throughout the story, it mentions a state of mind called the swing when rowing. It's basically when all 8 rowers match each other's movements and are perfectly in sync, making the oar move nearly perfectly through the water and at rapid speed. Before they could make it to the Olympics, they went through multiple races. They had lots of struggling with the hard work of rowing the boat in the first place, and all 8 boys had to struggle with the physical strain and the mental strain, because they would work in the cold water, in the pouring rain, freezing winds for hours and hours, trying to row a training boat that would barely move through the water, so that they could tone their bodies and get ready for an actual training boat. Joe Rance actually helped build the actual boat, and he went on a mental journey with that. But they would go on multiple races just so that they could qualify for the Olympics. They won many of their races and eventually qualified for the Olympics. Eventually, at the end of what goes on in the 1936 Berlin Olympics, Adolf Hitler basically kind of uses the event as propaganda to kind of sanitize, in a way, sort of the Third Reich. But during the final race, because they've made it that far, the young team of underdogs went through incredible hardships at the final race. they were purposefully put into a racing lane with a disadvantage. They had poor weather, and one of their crew members named Don Hume had a severe stroke illness. But despite all that, they were able to power through and beat both the Italian and German elite teams by half a second and took home the gold. So for prose, this story is non-fiction. It has real people and real events, and it got all of this information from Joe Ransom himself, which is why it focuses mainly on him. It gives some pretty cool background knowledge and an interesting perspective on people who were outsiders and traveling into Germany, how during like the Holocaust and the beginning of that, no one suspected a thing. They painted it as if nothing was going on. It was just a perfect little world down in Germany, when in reality that's not actually what was happening. I think that's pretty interesting. It also gives some background, it just gives some interesting perspective on how young people would have to go through the Great Depression, because some people did end up needing to go through the Great Depression completely alone. They didn't always have families to look out for them, and Joe Ransom and his story is an example of this, and it's also pretty interesting. Another thing is it's very entertaining to read. It is very interesting. I love the book. I love listening to it. I love reading it. And there's also a movie about it. It's pretty accurate to the book and the original story, and I like it. It was pretty good. Now for cons, it might be a little some parts might be a little triggering for those who are pretty sensitive to like the topic of World War II or the Holocaust, or just Adolf Hitler in general, anything like that. It also might be triggering for those who are sensitive to like parental neglect and just like the hardships of the Great Depression, because there's a lot of that in this book, but that's also kind of what makes it interesting to read, and also why I like it. Yeah, that's all I can think about it. It's a really good book. There's not much bad about it. It's a very entertaining read, and it's very, very interesting. I love this book and all the story. I love non-fictional underdog stories and just the amazing strength that is shown by the young men in this story. It's really cool. It's really cool. I recommend you guys give this a read, or maybe watch the movie. It's very similar to the book. It's also pretty funny, and I like it. Thank you guys for watching. If you stayed this far, please like and subscribe. If you have any ideas of anything I should do next, or elements from other videos that I've done that you want to see more of, leave a comment, share what you want to see, and I can do that. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you later.